Hey, welcome to our Home Buyer Seminar. I'm Bill Gross at Bill Gross Probate, along with my good friend and colleague.
Patricia Castillo.
We're missing somebody. Our wingman's gone. He got married last week. What happened to him this week?
That's right. He texted us and said he was feeling ill. So Shannon's out sick today, got married. I think he went and
Out
had a
sick.
blast. Yes.
Out
And
sick.
taking some time off is more like
Yeah.
it.
I'm not representing that he is actually sick. He told us he's out sick, so you can figure out. He got married last weekend. Yeah,
Yes.
and he's out sick today. So you do the math, and I just remind you that his Instagram is fun with Shannon, not fun with Shannon. Fun with Shannon's over with. Now he's married. So anyhow, shout out Shannon.
That's right.
Hope you see this. So Patricia, what's happening in the real estate market?
Well, it's pretty busy right now for me, Bill. I just picked up a listing of 4 units in North Hollywood for 1.5 million. So I'm excited about that one. And the units are vacant. So if anybody, or except for one, 3 units are vacant, one is occupied. Um, but I see that there's so much buyer demand still. I mean, I think as we're getting closer to spring and the weather's a little better, there's definitely buyers out looking, and I'm having scheduling more phone appointments before even going out to see the properties, just because buyers have a lot of questions right now. I feel like buyers are pretty savvy, but they still have questions about specific things like contingencies and how much money do I need to wire into escrow, just kind of like the basic questions. So I have a phone appointment after our meeting right now, and it's also for a first time buyer. But there's a lot of opportunity right now to get into a home if somebody is looking to buy a home. There's home buyer grants, there's down payment assistance. I mean, there's so many different programs that buyers can utilize to get into a home today.
Well, and I think the key there is that they're out there, but you need to work with somebody who knows how to deal with those homebuyer grants. So talk about one that you did recently where you used the homebuyer grant to help a buyer.
So one was the CalHFA, um, which they borrowed the down payment, um, which was the 3%. And so that was a silent second, meaning that the homeowner is not going to make any payments until they're done, paying off the mortgage. So let's just say if your down payment was 20,000, the 20,000 is recorded on your property as a second lien, but you're not making any payments on it until you're finished paying your primary mortgage. So that was a really great way for a home buyer to get into a property. That's with the CalHFA. Now, I did close on a condo, another down payment assistance program. This was directly offered through a bank, and this wasn't tied to the state or the government or anything. It was directly from a bank, and the homebuyer grant involved 15,000 that was sent to escrow, and that was for their down payment and closing costs. And then the buyer put in additional money for the earnest money deposit, which we only included like 1% since we knew that they were going to be utilizing the rest of the funds. So this program is $15,000 that the home buyer would get directly from the bank, and it does not require repayment, and it's a conventional loan without PMI. So for a condo, it's really great because usually, you can't use an FHA loan. The condo complex has to be approved as an FHA HOA community. So if you're using a home buyer grant, this is a great way to get into a condo as well. It's a conventional loan, no PMI, and $15,000 to get into a home or a condo.
Now, I would imagine that um, it might be um,
Mhm.
difficult to get a seller or more difficult to accept a CalHFA or some of these programs or not. I don't know. Did you have any problems or how'd you get it done?
No, actually, the condo was in Long Beach, and I just spoke to the agent. I think that's one of the big things in real estate is just having that communication letting them know that your clients are well qualified, and highlighting their strong points, their FICO, their income. So although they're getting a home buyer grant, that doesn't mean that they're a risky buyer. That just
Mhm.
means that they're utilizing the grants that are available right now. So I spoke to the agent, developed some rapport with him, and
Right.
it was on the market for maybe 2 weeks. We went to go see it in person, went back for a second showing. He was there both times, so that really gave us an opportunity to connect, and we just kind of hit it off. Um, so he told me, send me an offer and I'll present it to my seller, and I'm gonna really advocate for your clients because I can see that they're interested and they look like, they're gonna be happy here. So that's one of the things too, is you have to make that good impression with the listing agent.
Yeah, I think that's so critical and underrated that the relationship is part of it. And I think that, while it sounds good to say that you can just do business online, wouldn't it be great if you could just click and shoot and buy a house? The reality is,
Right.
there's still people involved, and you increase your odds by having a great agent and having a relationship with a listing agent.
Yeah, absolutely. So I opened desk on a different property recently, and we completed all our inspections. And for this property, there were a couple of other offers that the agent said, "Oh, I heard that offers are coming in, but I don't have anything in hand yet." So that's one thing you want to find out also when you're working with the buyer is what kind of activity is happening on that specific property. Do they have multiple offers? Whether it's a
Mhm.
new listing or not, you never know. If they just did a price reduction, they're probably going to trigger some new activity and get some offers in. So you always want to find out if there's any offers on the table. Now, in this case, the listing agent said, "Well, I heard there's offers coming in, but if you send me one today, you're going to be the first offer." So we got our offer in, got it accepted, um, finished all our inspections, and it turns out that the property, we went right after it rained last week. So that's another thing is it's a really good time to do an inspection after it rains because you'll see if the home is watertight or not. In this case, there was water coming in from different areas, from the sliders and the kitchen and the bedroom, the windows. I mean, all those things are fixable, but it also depends on the buyer and if they're going to have the time, the energy, and the budget to get the home in the condition that they need it to be. So we negotiated a credit, and at the end of the day, my clients felt a little overwhelmed, even though they were getting a credit for closing costs um, to take on the project. So that's one of the things that is important to know too is at this stage, before you removed your contingencies, you can still cancel and receive a full refund of your deposit. So that's what we did this morning. We canceled our escrow and we're going to continue our search to find a home that doesn't need as much repair. But I'm really glad that it had rained because it really showed us where all the leaks were coming in. I mean, it was still wet when when we walked into the home in different areas, like water puddling and inside the bedroom, and you know, it's a really good time, like I said, to do an inspection after it rains. Now, that's not always going to be possible, but you do the best you can with looking at the inspection, looking for water stains, looking for things that might trigger something like that.
Yeah, it's good to look after because now you have the chance to see,
Mhm.
if there's any need if there's any problems.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and there's
thank you.
certain things that when you go see a home, you're not doing. You're not crawling into the attic space. You're not going under the house. You're simply walking through the home and taking a look at everything. So sometimes even new builds might have something that the builder missed or that's not functioning properly, and you would still want to do a home inspection, even on new construction, just to catch something that might have been overlooked.
Yeah.
So in this case, our dishwasher was also leaking. I mean, you're not going to run a dishwasher when you're a full cycle while you're touring a home. So these are things that come up on the home inspection as well. They run all the appliances, turn on the air conditioner, stove, everything. So this is how you find out everything that's going on with the property.
And that's why you want to go out and check. If it's raining, that's a great opportunity. You get a free rain check on the house. It's funny
That's
you say
right.
that because I think myself, we had a rain here recently. We didn't have any damage anywhere, leaks anywhere. I'm thinking, that's pretty good.
Mhm.
Like there were, a few years ago we did and had to have repairs done on the roof, and
Right.
it all got done. And but now we got nothing. So I didn't even think about it how lucky we are in some regards. So
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
again, I think the key to this is the importance of being diligent, planning ahead of time, and all that. How are we doing as far as interest rates? Where are rates today versus where they were, and should buyers be concerned?
We're still about 7% for a 30-year. I mean, unless you're getting an
Mm-hmm.
FHA loan, you'll be in the lower sixes. Like one of
Mm-hmm.
my clients, they're at 6 point, I think it was 6.25.
Mm-hmm.
So it just depends on what kind of loan you're getting. But for a conventional, you're going to be somewhere in the higher sixes to sevens. Rates haven't really changed that much. And I haven't even really been asked by my clients, do you think rates are going to come down anytime soon? Because they've been in the same range for the last year. I mean,
Right.
they're really not changing drastically, I think, for any conversation to really be started or for the news or anybody to even mention anything about real estate. I mean, the interest rates,
Yeah,
they're
I think
still
that's
about
the key.
7%.
Is the reason why rates are high as they are, if that's the term you want to use, is because the economy is perceived as good or going to be good, and that means people have money in their pocket and they're out buying houses. So it's kind of a mixed bag. When rates go down, it also can mean the economy is bad, and that means either your job's at risk or your business is going to be at risk. Doesn't mean it's necessarily bad for you everybody at one time. So what do you
Mhm.
see? Have you seen? I know you primarily work more in the inland LA County areas and the Inland Empire. Do you see a demand from buyers who used to be in fire ravaged areas moving into different areas, or what do you see going on in that area? If any, it's still a little early, but what have you seen so far?
Yeah, I do have some clients, or I should say friends, that were living in that area. They
Hmm.
were affected by the fires, and they're not really looking to rebuild in that area. You know, they're
Hmm.
looking to move out of the area and move further south. So, um, closer to Orange County,
Hmm.
and not really the conversations I've had with them, they're not really looking to rebuild in the same community that they were in before.
Hmm.
It's just it's going to take too long. They need to get temporary housing in the meantime, a short term rental, and it's going to be at least a year, if that, to get back into after the building and the permits and everything. So they rather just save themselves from all that stress and just relocate and start somewhere else.
Well, so there's plenty of opportunities. I think that the challenges as a city or county, we have all kinds of challenges, but individually, there's houses for sale and there's people looking to buy. And so the key is to get the right strategy. I know that we got to run here shortly. So, Patricia, if somebody want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a hold of you for more information?
Yes, my cell, which is 323-365-9909.
Great. I'm at Bill Gross. Any special open houses this week that you're holding? Did I miss anything special going on for you business wise?
Open houses, no. I have some properties I'll be showing this weekend, and I'm hoping to start showing the 4 units that I just listed yesterday in the NoHo Arts District. So that's right on near Colfax and Chandler. So
NoHo Arts District. Look at you. I've been there. Very nice. You get a little bougie on us, lady. Don't forget the little
it's
people.
it's a great area. So if you know anybody, Bill, send them my way.
It is a lot of businesses there. You got trains and metro and the
That's right.
studios, and that area is red hot with activity. That's for sure. So good for you.
There is.
Okay, well, look, for everybody who's watching, thank you. Feel free to put your comments in, questions. If I can help in any way, I'm Bill Gross, Apple Gross Probate, Patricia Castillo, 323
Thank
365
you.
9909. Have a great week.